Welcome to the quick hitter version of the Mike Wise Show. I'm Bruce Bernstein filling in for Mike this week. I'm joined by Ashley Nevel, one of the fresh young voices in basketball media and the host of the Ashley Nevel Show. Ashley has scored many high-profile interviews, and as a young journalist in the business, she shares some of the secrets of her success. So let's talk a little bit about the Ashley Nevel Show. It's available on the internet, but there's a lot of shows on the internet. But somehow or another, Ashley, you're getting really marquee guests to come on with you. I mean, we're talking Dame Lillard, we're talking Charles Barkley, we're talking Devin Booker, Tom Thibodeau, the biggest names. So what's your secret? How are you booking all these people?
Well, some of those people were before the Ashley Nevel Show, but they were still on my platform. So the name of it kind of has changed over time. I haven't really stuck with a name, but the Ashley Nevel Show is where it's at right now. But during quarantine, at least I can speak for that with Charles Barkley. I had his number in my phone from a colleague of mine, and he's like, "If you ever need it, like, here's his number." And then I saw he was doing interviews with the local Phoenix media, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna text him and see what happens. So I texted him, and I didn't hear back, but for maybe a couple days, and then he finally texts back, and I can kind of tell that through his it was him just through the texting. I could just tell generationally, I could tell it was him. And he was like, "Yeah, let's get something set up. I would love to speak with you." And I sent him over some of my other content so that he knew that I was a real person. I'm not just pretending to be someone. And so we ended up setting that up, and it was just like a surreal moment for me because I almost wish that my grandma could have been here to see that, because she grew up watching all these guys play, and she never really got to meet any of them. And I know that I'm kind of living I'm living through her in a way because she never brought her passion to the table. She loved watching the sport. She loved coaching and playing, but she would have been such a great analyst or reporter. And I feel that I'm kind of doing what she should have been doing. So that was a great interview. And then just over time, I met Dwayne Wade a couple years ago during his last season. He was in town in Phoenix for the last time. And I was just prepared. I think the biggest thing is when you are working in any kind of field, whether or not it's, behind the camera, in front of the camera, whether you're doing an interview, is to always be prepared. So I was always preparing for my interviews. I was like, all right, what are some of these questions that I want to know? What are questions that may have not been asked before? How can I be different? So when I went there, it was obviously that little a scrum setting. It was after a workout, a scrum setting, and I just took over the interview. I'm like, this is my time. I'm just going to keep rattling off questions. And other reporters kind of backed off and just let us kind of have our, moment to just have a conversation. And after that, he was really like, wow, those questions were great. And started following me. And we just kind of kept in touch since then, and now if I wanted to have him for an interview, it took a while to get him to book, excuses and, I have to go through this person. I'm like, no, you don't. You're Dwayne Wade. You don't need to go through anybody. You're not, you don't really have he has an agent, but it's not like they're controlling him anymore. He's not playing. But it was some things he had to work with, I guess, with TNT. But I just kept pushing for it. And if you really want something bad enough, you just got to keep pushing for it. So that's what I did with him. And then with Dame Lillard, I met him at Summer League a couple years ago. Just walked right up to him, introduced myself, and I was like, "Hey, can I get an interview?" And he doesn't really give interviews at Summer League, and I didn't know that, but I'm just like, you know what? Whatever. The worst they could say is no. That's the thing. The worst someone could say is no. And I've had
Right.
guys say no, give me the runaround. I need to ask my, publicist. And I'm just like, well, I can, I just don't like taking that for an answer. I'd rather them just straight up say no, I'm not interested. But I'll keep prying at them. I'll keep DMing. I mean, there's a couple of them that I keep bothering, and they read the messages at least, so they know that I'm not going to stop. But it's just being persistent, being very just crafty with your questions, being very precise with the things that you want to ask, and also being aware of the timing of it too.
If you want to hear more from Ashley Nevel and myself, check out the full version of the Mike Wise Show from Pure Hoops Media. You can also check out the video version of the Quick Hitter on the Pure Hoops Media YouTube channel.